Did you know that the state of Georgia is using the body of a brain-dead woman as an incubator because she was 9 weeks pregnant when she died, and their abortion ban is from about 6 weeks? They are sustaining her on life support without input from her family until 32 weeks of gestation, a true dystopian nightmare straight out of The Handmaid's Tale. This situation has sparked outrage and protests across the state, with many people demanding changes to the laws governing reproductive rights. Legal battles are unfolding as families grapple with the moral implications and rights of the unborn versus the autonomy of the individual. The chilling parallels to dystopian narratives reflect deep societal divides on these critical issues.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey ladies, welcome back to Somebody Come Listen to This podcast. I am your host, Nava. Some of you may know, some of you may not know that I got banned for like the third time on TikTok. So I just created a new page on TikTok called Nava Says. If y'all can support me, please go over there and follow me. I don't have any followers yet because I literally just created the page about 30 minutes ago. But y'all, I wanted to come on here and talk about Adriana Smith, who was or is the brain dead Black woman who was forced to carry her child to term. The baby has been born a few days ago, and it is 1 pound, I think. I'm not sure, but he's a little bit over a pound. And I don't think I didn't speak on this when I first heard of the story. I haven't spoken on it, but I don't think women are really paying attention to what's going on. Anytime the medical field in America has done any kind of like medical test, it's always Black women that they do experiments on. And that is exactly what is going on now. Women of every race should have been outraged when her family had no say over what was done with her body after she was declared brain dead. That hospital should have been non-existent anymore. Women should have rushed that hospital. If women have any idea of what they are doing and what's about to come our way with this presidency and with these men trying to gain control, women of all races should be outraged. Like, the protest should have been at that hospital daily. Nobody should have been allowed to go in that hospital, and she should not have been allowed to be treated this way. All women should have been outraged because they are using this woman as a test subject, because men globally are seeing that women are not wanting to date and not wanting to marry and not wanting to procreate, because they see that women are just seen as objects, baby making machines for the system to create more workers, to create more capital, more money for the elite, and to keep a certain group of men at the top. Y'all, my channel has been shadow banned here on YouTube for so long. I'm trying to be careful of what I say, but I'm pretty sure they're already watching me. Every time I try to go create a new account on a platform, they are trying to force me to use a picture or a selfie to identify myself, because they are targeting people like me who are speaking the truth, and they want to silence us. So y'all, I'm going to get into what women are saying about Adriana and about the baby, and I will be back after this.
It's hot. My chest is so hot. That woman was only 9 weeks pregnant. 9 weeks pregnant when she went to the hospital because something was wrong, and they ran no tests on her. They ran not a single test, gave her medicine, sent her home, and the next morning, her boyfriend woke up to her gargling. He was gone. Because of the new law that is passed in Georgia, the heartbeat law, they have kept this woman who is completely brain dead on a ventilator to keep the pregnancy going. At 9 weeks, she was 9 weeks pregnant. Do you know how many women don't even know that they're pregnant at 9 weeks? Not only that, but this family has been going for the past 90 days, the past 3 months, to visit their daughter, partner. This woman has a little boy, a son, who the reporter said that the little boy just thinks his mommy is sleeping. He's been going to visit his mom every single day and just thinks she's taking a nap. So when this woman finally has this baby that they don't even know is if it's going to survive outside of the womb, if it's going to have birth defects, what's going to happen with this baby? And this little boy's not going to have his mom. They're planning on keeping her alive for another month. She's currently 21 weeks pregnant, and they're planning on keeping her alive for another month. So this family has to suffer for another month, and they're probably planning this woman's funeral as this is all happening, as they're going to visit her every day. Can somebody tell me how this is ethical? Like, they didn't even give the family a choice. They didn't even have a say in this. They're just forced into this. Can somebody tell me how this is right and this is ethical?
So as a reminder, Adriana, a nurse from Georgia, was declared brain dead in February while 8 weeks pregnant. On June 13th, her son named Chance was born via emergency C-section. He weighed just over 1 pound and is now in the NICU. Her family is preparing to say goodbye to Adriana this week. But here's the ethical crisis. Her family says that they were told the hospital had to keep Adriana on life support due to Georgia's abortion law, House Bill 481. That's false. The law does not require life support after brain death. Even the Georgia Attorney General clarified that removing life support is not considered abortion. Still, the hospital kept her on machines for 4 months. Her family had no legal say, no chance to advocate for her values or wishes. That's a fundamental violation of informed consent and medical ethics. And here's something that hasn't been talked about enough, right? The medications used to preserve Adriana's body likely harmed the fetus. Vasopressors, corticosteroids, sedation, and hormonal support can cause placenta insufficiency, impaired growth, brain bleeds, or long-term neurodevelopmental issues, especially in extreme prematurity. This baby was fighting before he was even born. This wasn't just about keeping Adriana's body alive, it was about forcing her body to become a vessel for a potential life without her consent and at a great risk to that very life. A 7-year-old boy now has to grow up without his mother. Her newborn son may face lifelong complications, and her mother is left saying, quote, "We should have had a choice," end quote. This case is what happens when vague, overly broad laws are weaponized against families, especially Black women. We have to do better legally, ethically, and medically.
Adriana Smith was cut open today via cesarean section to retrieve the fetus that was being hosted in her corpse. And according to the grandmother, the baby could possibly not walk, be blind, and have many other medical complications. It is currently in the NICU, and they are going to dispose of her body now that it has done its job, now that the incubated fetus is now breathing. She no longer gets to. If that doesn't make you fucking sick, don't call yourself no Christian. That's fucking horrible.
This weekend, while all the ruckus was going on with the No Kings protest and everything, Adriana Smith's baby Chance was delivered via C-section. Chance is in the NICU. Adriana's mom says she's expected to be taken off of life support today. This shit just don't sit well with me. Georgia, this shit just do not sit well with me. Like, it really does not sit well with me. It really gives me what was it, season 3 of Handmaid's Tale, when old girl was kept alive and having seizures and everything for the miracle baby, the blessing, the fruit. Pray for that family. Pray for that baby. I don't know. That shit really just don't sit well with me. Like, hopefully Adriana gets the peace that her soul deserves. I don't know. I don't know.
So, y'all, I'm hearing that her family wanted her baby alive. They wanted her to carry this baby to term. I actually saw a video of her mother saying this, but y'all, I don't care what her family says. A lot of Black women are religious and brainwashed and would probably say something like this. But those of us who are not in a cult anymore know that this is just demonic and morally wrong. We know that. Like, this woman, like, you cannot bring a life into the world through a dead corpse. That baby is feeling, when we're pregnant with babies, those babies feel our emotions. They feel our happiness, our sadness. They listen for our voice. They feed off of our nutrients in our body. We give them life. That baby was missing all of that. She went into this coma when she was 9 weeks old, y'all. That baby was not hearing his mama's voice. It may have been hearing his grandparents. I'm not sure about the dad, but that baby, her soul was gone. That baby was in a soulless shell. Imagine what kind of person would be created out of that environment. Women are already out here birthing demons into the planet, even when they are alive and their souls are still within them. Imagine what kind of humans, if they start allowing this, would be born onto this earth that is just born in a shell of a human that doesn't have a soul, that can't speak to or nourish the baby on their own. Imagine it, ladies. No matter what her mother said, no matter what her family wanted, just imagine that.
The baby was not delivered. He was cut out of her. They pulled the plug on her life support after the baby was out of her body. That poor baby is only 1 pound and 13 ounces fighting for his life in the NICU, and his mom is dead. She's dead because male politicians think babies are more important than women. And they wonder why there is a decrease in women having children. Like, at this point, I'll just get my whole uterus removed, because if they put their faith in something like a clump of cells over me, who has been alive for over 28 years, I might as well just not have them. The pro-life movement has never been about babies. It has been about control and seeing what they can get away with, because Chance is now, quote unquote, born. We might be seeing more of this, because this is a test to see if they can use women's bodies as incubators, because men can't have babies, so they have to use the next best thing, which is women. Why was I born in hell? Why was I born in hell?
Smith's baby wasn't delivered. It was snatched out of her because she was brain dead already. That baby is 1 pound and 13 ounces. And one last thing, women should have a right to abortion, and I hope that baby lives long enough to burn down or destroy that entire state, by the way. I hope he gets strong enough to destroy that entire state.
How are Christians going to support this heartbeat law in Georgia when at the same time, in Adriana Smith's case, it goes against the will of God? She didn't deliver her baby. A C-section wasn't performed. They mutilated a corpse. And now she has entered the gates of heaven without her baby in her arms, as God's will intended for her to do. you Christians, and I'm a Christian too, but some of you Christians need to really think about how pro-life can also disrupt the will of God at the same time. Adriana Smith is a perfect example of this.
One more thing before I get up off of here, because I look cute and I'm about to snatch this wig off and wash my face and go to bed. But Adriana Smith, y'all, I don't know if y'all remember me talking about, but I know I talked about it. The woman who is declared brain dead, who has been used as an incubator. Yeah, they cut that baby out of her body today. Talking about they delivered it by C-section. You didn't deliver shit. They had to take the baby out of her body because her body was decaying. Because guess what? She was gone. She been gone. Yeah, talking about delivered. You cut the baby out of her. You cut the baby out of her. Her body was probably shut down. It's decaying because the woman is brain dead. Yet here we are, due to the abortion ban and Georgia's heartbeat bill. Ain't this some fucking bullshit? And to make motherfucking matters worse, they keep showing this woman in a picture of her with her that blue dress on where she's pregnant from her first pregnancy. First pregnancy. The lady was 3 months old or 3 months pregnant when this happened to her. And it made that girl and her family suffer beyond what they already suffering. And deliver this baby 3 months early. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this. It's people, I never say people going to hell. Everybody involved in any way, shape, or form going straight to hell. First class ticket, gasoline draws.
If this was a white woman, this wouldn't have happened. The Adriana Smith situation here in Atlanta absolutely horrifies me for the status of healthcare in the United States. And not just the status of healthcare, but the status of reproductive rights, bodily autonomy, women's rights. It horrifies me to see that a black woman who was pronounced brain dead in February was kept alive simply to incubate this fetus. The fact that a black woman was kept alive to incubate this fetus beyond and aside from her own wishes, aside from her family's own wishes, the hospital made the decision to keep this woman alive because of legislation here in the United States, here in Georgia. It absolutely astonishes me that even after the Attorney General of the state of Georgia came out and said, hey, this law doesn't actually say that there is a stipulation that a mother be kept alive after brain death because of, a pregnancy. And honestly, I've done a lot of thinking about the whole situation, and I work in public health and I work in understanding reasons for medical mistrust, reasons for hesitancy related to medical procedures, vaccinations, things like that. And this right here is the exact type of thing that causes medical mistrust, especially among marginalized and historically unrespected populations. If this was a white woman, this wouldn't have happened. This was blatant experimentation. This was blatant proof of concept that we can keep a pregnant woman on life support and gestate that pregnancy until it's viable. That's what this is. And it's honestly disgusting. The blatant disrespect for Adriana and her family in this entire situation is so upsetting. Adriana had an advance directive. She did not want to be kept on life-saving support. She didn't want that. And the blatant disregard for her own wishes is extremely concerning, not just from a women's rights and a reproductive rights perspective, but if they can do this to a pregnant woman, who else are they going to do it to? And as I mentioned before, this is proof of concept. So as our country becomes more and more authoritarian, more and more disrespectful of women's rights, more and more focused on women as incubators for fetuses. We're going to see more of this. So spread the news. Make sure you're talking about this with your friends and family. Make sure you're talking with your legislators about this, because this type of thing cannot occur.
Her mother says that he is expected to be okay. He's just fighting. We just want praise for him. Her mother also went on to say that Adriana Smith will be taken off life support today. Adriana Smith's mother went on to say, "It's hard to process. I'm her mother. I shouldn't be burying my daughter. My daughter should be burying me." Georgia's Republican Governor Brian Kemp signed a near-total abortion ban in the state in 2019, but the law did not go into effect until after the U.S. Supreme Court took the decision in 2022 to overturn the Roe v. Wade ruling, which had guaranteed women the constitutional right to an abortion.
As a result of the continued malpractice of Black women's bodies and the depraved medical system in the United States, that I did not give birth there. Adriana Smith, the 31-year-old Black woman that was declared brain dead in February, did not give birth. She was experimented on. The fact that her family, specifically her mother, wasn't even given a choice to decide if her loved one should have stayed on life support, because that is a state law, leaving her family without any medical decision-making right, and then leaving the family with the bill, to foot the bill, to pay for this bill, when that country knows damn well they don't care about Black children, is beyond diabolical. The fact that the message being sent generationally in the United States is that Black women don't get a choice over what is done to their bodies in life or death should sound the alarm for everybody. Again, Adriana Smith did not give birth. She was experimented on.
So ladies, as y'all can see, excuse me, y'all. This is not just going to be a civil and a race war. This is literally a war against women. This is a war against women. They want to use us to bring humans like them onto this planet. They want to use our bodies to incubate males like them onto this planet so that they can continue to make laws that oppress us. The party that is running the entire country right now are doing this. And the entire party was birthed onto this planet by women. And this is how they treat us. And don't let it escape you that there are women in this party who are helping them do this. So ladies, when I say you need to get with like-minded women who are on the same page as you, you have no time to be trying to bring other women who don't agree with you along right now, because it's already began. The war is already begun on women, and it's always started with Black women. This country knows that. The people that are the least protected is who they are going after, and that is Black women. Everybody knows that. White women know that. All women know that. And right now, we're not even begging people to rally behind us, because the way we've been treated in this world and in this country, we're not. But any woman who has like a molecule, like a percentage of a piece of a brain right now, knows that this is not going to be just a Black woman's fight. History has shown us that these males will use Black women to experiment before they start experimenting on other women. They don't want Black babies in this country, but they will use Black women as an example of what they can do to get the babies that they want into this world, into this country, to continue this system, this patriarchy that has tried to push everybody to the bottom. And if all women don't realize that when women are oppressed and treated like this and pushed down to the bottom, the nation will never be able to rise. And y'all see all of the nations around the world that are ran by men making laws that govern women's bodies. Y'all see what happened to China when they had the one-child policy. Or I think that's what it was, y'all. The one-child policy. Y'all see, and they didn't want that child to be a girl. They wanted it to be a boy. Y'all see what's happening in India, where they worship male babies. Like globally, everybody worships male babies. But they forget that they need women to get those male babies here. And y'all see that those male babies turn into the males that are creating these laws that are doing these things to us. That's why I no longer argue with women who don't want to see the complete picture of where we're going with this. They're not even hiding it anymore. It's in Project 2025. They're getting on TV in front of the nation, letting you know that we don't want women to get rid of babies anymore. It is not about, I know that a lot of people are religious and y'all think that abortion is wrong and you're killing babies. But no, for them, that is not what it's about. It's not about preserving life, because if it was about preserving life, they would care about these babies when they come into the world. Women can't even afford daycare. They can't even afford they can't even go to work and trust that these men are going to be taking care of the babies properly when they are at work. They can't trust these men around their own daughters and sons because they're SAing them and taking them out. Women cannot even depend on family because nuclear families are set up to where it's just one woman, one man, and it's just everybody is so divided that they don't even have friends and family that can help them because everybody is so consumed with just working and trying to survive, and nobody can survive right now, even with two incomes, because of the way the system is set up. So everything right now is set up for everybody to fail, including women, but they want these babies to keep birthing into the system that makes them more money, that just they want these babies to work like robots from the time that they graduate high school. They want to put them in the army to go fight wars, to go steal resources from other lands. This is not women doing this, y'all. This is males doing this globally. They don't want to listen to women. They don't care why women are not wanting to have kids. The birth rates are dropping because women can't afford it, because women are depressed and nobody cares, because women are having to do the bulk of the work around these houses. These households. Women are having to manage the husband, the kids, the jobs, the schools, the doctor's appointments, the dentist appointments, the eye doctor's appointments. The women are having to have sex after they do all of this. They're having to do the caravans to work. They're having to be the chef. They're having to do everything, y'all. And in this society, the man is just supposed to work and come home and be served by these women. And the women have to work on top of that. It's just so much for women. Women are saying no. And even in Russia, y'all, I have made videos. They're banning content or speech when women are telling women don't have kids because of A, B, and C. I'm saying right now. Eventually, they're going to do it here. So it doesn't matter, y'all, what race you are as a woman right now. When they start oppressing people of color, when they start oppressing other groups of people because of how they choose to love and be loved, when they start oppressing anyone, everyone is in danger. if you're not one of the men at the top, if you're not a white male, and I think white men have it confused too. They think just because they're white men that they're going to have it on easy street. No, if you're not a white male who is making millions of dollars a year, you're going to be right in this system with us. So if you're not fighting with women or fighting with people who have been disadvantaged, y'all are finding out right now. If you're a white male listening to this, y'all are going to be at the bottom. Because that's how history works. Y'all need to study history before they burn the rest of the books. But yeah, ladies, get down in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this story. It's been everywhere right now. I haven't been talking about it because I have been resting and I've been focusing on my other channel. If y'all don't follow me over there, it's White History Month. I'm just talking about current events that is going on. And sometimes I throw in some past events. But yeah, follow me over there and follow my new TikTok page at Nava Says. And I will talk to you ladies later. Bye.